Hello and welcome to the Film Bros podcast. I am one of your hosts. My name is Sam Hogarth.
And I'm Rich.
And on today's episode, we have got quite an interesting topic, I feel. We're talking about movie jail. Does it exist, and what kinds of movie jail that exists for people and creatives? But first, as we begin every episode, it's Richard. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, mate, actually.
Yeah?
No. Weather's holding up, I guess. Fits my mood. I'm kind of up and down. 1 minute it's sunshine and rainbows and lollipops, and then next minute, who fucking knows? But no, other than that,
English, rather, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm just trying to get through that ever so long watch list. How about yourself?
I mean, that is always a constant struggle, isn't it? Trying to get through the watch list.
Yeah.
But no, I'm good, actually. I feel good. Like, this is now episode 8 of the podcast as well, which is crazy.
I mean, Christ,
like,
yeah.
I'm, really happy with how it's all going. And obviously we've been more and more editing.
You're not getting my thoughts on the next episode, so fuck off.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Cool.
And
that's when I have to renew my contract. So yeah, you'll know.
Yeah, we'll have to renegotiate terms, I think. But no, I'm good though. And obviously we've had the release of Locked In as well, and
Yes.
Of my sort of like little micro short film that I've done. And thank you to everyone. If anyone here who has watched it, if you haven't, I'll put the link in the comments below. In the description below. So if you want to give it a watch, absolutely, please do so. And also, we have also done a special video of the making of that I can't talk now.
No,
It's gone.
That's
Of making that film. So if you want to watch like an on-set experience, it's about 20 minutes long. Head over to my other YouTube channel. Again, the link will be in the description below, and give that a watch, and hope you enjoy it.
Yeah,
there'll be more short films and sort of sketches coming soon this year, and I'm going to be tackling it is my biggest short film project for the rest of this year. It's going to be quite interesting.
Yeah, a big one.
Challenge to overcome, but I'm really happy with what we've done sort of so far with it.
Yeah.
But I'm good though. I must say though, I went to the cinema recently.
You have?
I did.
Oh, what did you see?
I saw a little film that is being quite heavily talked about for many reasons.
Oh my god, you saw Wuthering Shites.
I did, but that was a little while ago.
Oh, okay.
But I saw Michael.
Okay, let's get into this one.
And I am someone who I am a Michael Jackson fan of his music and his career. Like, I think what he's sort of done musically, I think will never be matched again. Like, people kind of compare him and sort of say about like him and Taylor Swift quite a lot, but I don't think anyone will ever really grasp how popular Michael Jackson actually was. Where like at his concerts there would literally be rows of ambulances because of fainting fans, because of just him standing on stage, not even doing anything, and people would pass out. And it's like, this is a guy who allegedly once hired out a supermarket, filled it with actors, so then he could do his shopping by himself and not be recognized. That is how famous this guy was.
Fuck.
This is like insane levels of fame. And like, the film chronicles his early beginnings with the Jackson 5 and into his kind of like teenage years, and then before doing his first solo album, Off the Wall, into Thriller, and then ends with the Bad Tour. That's just kind of like a brief overview of like where the film kind of goes. I think Jafar Jackson does a really good job as Michael Jackson. Obviously, it's his nephew, Michael Jackson's actual nephew, Jafar. He does the voice superbly. He gets his mannerisms, the way he dances is it's honestly like he's in the room. I think that Common Domingo does an incredible job as Joseph Jackson, and he really creates that real like shadow over the family and that domineering presence. And I'm not even gonna lie, like when there's those moments like towards the end of the film where like when he comes in and you are that little bit fearful, like, you almost kind of get that anxiety when he's on screen, and I think that that's a credit to his performance where he can command that of an audience, But there are issues, of course. Like, there isn't really that much of a story, and I think, like, if you, to our listeners and to our viewers, if you sort of know what's been kind of going on in regards to the film, that they had to change large parts of it due to how the film was originally intended to be structured. So they had to cut those moments out and reshape it. And I think that because of that, there is no real kind of story. The only real story is almost like a coming of age, but it's kind of half baked and not really pursued that much. And I think that obviously, like, Antoine Fuqua, who I really admire as a director, does a really good job of trying to bring Michael to life, and does really well, especially with the cinematic sequences of doing like famous moments like Motown 25. I'm literally kind of telling you the entire story and the entire film, but like I say, there is no real story, so I don't mind sort of talking about it. But it's really well photographed. It's a real incredible film in terms of like the performances and everything. But it does skim over Thriller, which I think, as an actual Michael Jackson fan, is it's criminal. But it's not smooth. I
was gonna say, like that transition. Mate.
I know that was not smooth, was it?
It was awful.
But yeah, there are moments that don't really work, and especially like at the end as well, because like, I think the film shouldn't have ended on the bad tour. It should have ended, because arguably that was like the height of his fame, was the bad tour.
Thriller kind of brought him back, and then
Bad
was like the next logical.
Yeah. So I kind of see, as we know, there's going to be a second one. I mean, there definitely will be. It's made nearly $1 billion or whatever it is.
Excited are you?
But we are going to probably now see the decline. We've seen the rise. We're probably now going to see the decline. I am excited. I'm excited to see the telling of the other story, and I am intrigued, and I hope they do go deeper into Michael and like as the man and the person he was. And I know they can't fully go and sort of talk about some of the controversies, but I hope they do explore some of them. Yeah. So
even if it's the personal kind of feelings, how he was.
Yes. Yeah. And whether you believe, anyone believes, whether he did the alleged things that he did or not, I think that obviously there are certain things they can't legally talk about within the films, which is absolutely fair enough, because that's what the legal paperwork says. But I hope that there are things that are explored, let's say. I don't know how they would do that, but that's obviously up to the creative team to do that. But I think it would be fair to do that, and I think it's important as well. Yeah. Not to necessarily paint him, whether he's guilty or not.
It's a three-dimensional. It's just more of a three-dimensional.
You have to show something, because in Michael, he is portrayed as a bit of like a golden child, where he doesn't really do much wrong, and he's quite cowardly. Which again, I guess shows a little bit of grey, but I don't know. I think that there's still a hell of a lot of growth in terms of his character that needs to be worked on. But what I will say is that I did really enjoy it, though. I gave it 4 out of 5 on my Letterboxed, which if you want to go over to my Letterboxd, which will be in the link in the description, you can check that out. I didn't do one last week, so I'm getting one in this week. Yeah, I'm getting one in early.
You might as well.
So I'm sorry.
At this point, I feel like I feel like your pathway. I feel like beaten and just trod on, and just
you feel like beat it. You feel beaten. Beat it. Sorry, that was absolutely terrible.
I've got no words. Honestly.
We're not going to cut it, so fuck it. It'll stay in.
I know. I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed.
Oh, that always. Remember when your parents used to say that? Oh. God, so much more. It hurts so much more, doesn't it?
It does.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
But anyway, shall we get into the main
I've
topic
got stuff
of?
I want to
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Oh, I was just ignoring you.
Yeah, I know you
Okay.
are.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can talk. You can talk for 10 minutes about fucking Michael Jackson.
Okay. Yeah.
No. I was going to say I saw Wuthering Heights.
Okay.
Actually, that bringing up that very complicated film. I don't know how I
it's quite fitting actually because they're both they're complicated,
very, very problematic films. Yeah. I think the first half doesn't work as well as the second half. The second half is much better for me personally, and I am just talking about my opinions.
Second half.
The second half.
Really?
Because I don't think Margot Robbie works in the film.
That's why the first half is better.
No, she
because the kids when you've got Owen Cooper and
but they're only in it for a little bit.
But that's better.
I personally think Emerald Fennell should have made something original, a period piece that goes into the raunchy instead of doing this and is bound by
not even that
book.
raunchy.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, bound by a book that she has obviously no interest in. And she can do what she wants. When the film gets kinky, that's when the film is really brilliant. Like Heathcliff and Isabella, for me, is the relationship of the movie. It's where there's the most kind of conflict, the amount of growth and interest. Whereas Kathy disregards Heathcliff and then spends the rest of the movie going, I need my Heathcliff. Oh, fuck off. I cannot. And I'm saying it right here, right now. I'm cashing all my Margot Robbie stock in. If anybody wants it, please take it. Because I am fucking done. I do not want to see another film. I rewatched Birds of Prey this year. I watched A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey. And I've seen Wuthering Heights. And I have to say now, she is without a doubt the blandest actress we have currently working at the moment. Now, I think she had a really strong start on Wolf of Wall Street. Great leap. About Time, Wolf of Wall Street. They really utilised her charisma. As soon as she has gone into producing, she has sucked the charisma out of her performances and is more like Barbie. Name me a character.
But even like her first, sorry to interrupt, but her first portrayal of Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad was actually pretty decent.
Yeah, and I actually think James Gunn's one, I think there are really... I actually prefer that level of performance, personally for me, but I do like her in both Suicide Squad movies. When I watched Birds of Prey recently...
Awful.
It's not awful.
It is awful.
But she is trying so hard to be Harley Quinn. But when you look at her, she is Harley Quinn. And she's just not there like that. And I would really love to see Kaylee Cuoco have a crack at it. Because she does the voice of Harley Quinn on the animated show. So I would like to see her. But I also want to talk about, talking of Warner Brothers properties, please guys, get yourselves a Blu-ray, a rental disc, whatever. The new Looney Tunes movie. So recently Warner Brothers have been doing work with the Looney Tunes kind of movie. So we've got Coyote versus Acme coming this year, finally. And they recently did a new Looney Tunes animated movie called Looney Tunes The Day the Earth Blew Up. Phenomenal. Hand-drawn animation, classic Looney Tunes goofiness. The comedic moments shine. And it really actually put a lot of perspective into Porky Pig and Daffy Duck, who I really don't care out of the kind of canon of Looney Tunes, have now actually kind of really risen the ranks, and I put them really highly. Fucking fun movie. So yeah, I just wanted to shine a quick light on that before we get into our topic, which is Movie Jail. There we go. Looney Tunes have come out of Movie Jail, so let's get into Movie Jail.
Let's do it.
Right, so do creatives deserve to pay for their mistakes? Because Movie Jail is a reference I'd heard thrown around, just like a bit of context for everyone, and I've heard it thrown around where like they'll say, oh, this actor, this actress, or this director has been put into Movie Jail. So we thought, why not kind of discuss it with you guys and talk about some of our, some of the career paths of some of our favorite creatives, but also I have a list that I would absolutely love to see in movie jail. I would love to see the kind of money taken away from them, but also, do they deserve to have that happen to them? And this is the thing, it is like all like art and artists, it's a complex issue, and I think this is a meaty topic for us today.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, Sam, do creatives deserve to pay for the movies they make?
Yes and no. I know that's a really great answer.
No. But again, I think it was like there was another one we were talking about, weren't it? In one of our previous episodes, it's one of those issues like, should we be censoring artists?
This is it. Yeah.
Like over runtimes. For me, I would love to be able to tell Christopher Nolan, look, guy, keep it under fucking 2 hours. But at the same time, the guy makes money. He has his finger on the pulse of an audience. Yeah. Should he have that right taken away? And again,
but this is where like so the gatekeepers at Bay, which are studios and executives, will always think money first. Yeah. Which is obviously why we see so many franchises be brought back and sequelized or new universes of
books.
Exactly, adaptations of books and this, that, and the other. And then again, they will sort of try and be safe with those things, so then they don't offend audiences or anything like this, or try and piss off audiences, so then they don't go away. They want to keep audiences obviously as loyal customers. But at the same time, it's where like collaboration is so important with a studio, and I think that if you're ultimately, studios have to be braver in their decision makings. And I think it's sometimes unfair to put someone in movie jail for something that is a studio's fault. Because, like, let's just take the example of like Alien 3 with like David Fincher. That was completely the studio's fault, and they fucked him on that completely. Thankfully, he didn't end up in movie jail because of that experience. But he could have well have done. But that's not his fault. But the film was obviously considered a catastrophe. But thankfully, it didn't end up that way. But it could have done. And that could have been the end of his career right at the beginning. So I think it
almost was, yeah.
Yeah, but then obviously then another studio will look at his body of work and be like, if they're going to hire him for something else. Like, I think his next film was 7 after that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, or was it The Game?
No, it was 7.
It was 7.
He needed convincing to do it.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I'm done. I never want to make another film again.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I'll do it, but I have very strict, kind of conditions. But he also said, I learnt from that film onwards, if it goes south, walk. So.
Yeah, so there's different kinds of movie jail sort of thing, as kind of thinking about it, isn't there? So it depends on what happens, or like with the circumstances of some again, if it's the studio's fault, or is it because again, like someone can get caught in the crossfire and then that's their career ruined based on the studio's decision.
Yeah, I think a lot of it kind of blends with like my kind of thing with it is it's such a flawed system because it exists. Like
it does.
We see directors and artists disappear and come back and disappear, and they always have to kind of feel like they earn their time. And the thing that really irritates me is someone who is absolutely diabolical behind the screen can still get work in front of the screen, but when someone loses money in terms of the film isn't a financial success, they can lose an entire career. And so you've got like a problematic personality, like a Kevin Spacey, like a Woody Allen, all these kind of people we're talking about a lot more now. Mel Gibson, they can still have careers, and they're not, but maybe they've been knocked down a peg where they may be doing like straight to home video, or they have to go straight to streaming, or they're changing the kind of where they're getting their money, but they know that said creative is financially respectful and can make a profit on said movie at a significant budget, fine. But then say like Fred Decker, who makes Monster Squad, like has had Night of the Creeps financial failure, but it was because of the studio, and then Monster Squad, a financial failure because of the studio, and then goes to RoboCop 3 and his first big studio, and because of all the MGM studio notes, ends up making a critical and financial flop. This then kills his career. And the next time he gets an official credit, as far as I'm aware, from 1993, is 2018's The Predator by Shane Black as a writer. That's a long time. That
25 years.
Yeah, so that feels very much like...
Well, it's 25 years actually, 93
so if people are like, oh, what, movie jail doesn't exist, or this thing doesn't have, or you're feeling a bit skeptical, think on that. Like, look at some of these filmmakers that exist, and and that's kind of what we wanted to bring up today, weren't it? That someone as talented as Fred Decker, who had two of the like quintessential 80s like horror movies, and they're classics. People talk about them in high regard now. They're now out on Blu-ray 4K. They have followings. Where is he? He should have been making he should have made at least 12 movies,
That's the thing though, like you don't know what, if anything sort of went on behind the scenes in terms of like a studio argument or anything, and that could have then killed his career and again, like I know this is kind of like more sort of problematic sort of thing, but Harvey Weinstein as well, like again there's different types of, because there are people who have ruined careers through just personal lives, or I've said he would kill careers for not doing what for what people would, if they didn't do something for him or whatever, he would kill your career. And it's like, obviously, which is incredibly problematic to sort of say the least. But then there's also creative destruction or creative film jail, isn't there? And like talking about Mel Gibson, for instance, like I know with Passion of the Christ, the Redemption, which he is making, he's self-financing it. So that's why he's then being able to make it. And like look at, I wouldn't say Francis Ford Coppola is in film jail, but he had to make Megalopolis with his own money because no one else would pay for it. And would you then kind of then say that was he in kind of movie jail a little bit?
I wouldn't say for Megalopolis, but there is a point in time where I know he was struggling, and again, a lot of that kind of stems from the 90s, but a lot of it was also like he was coming off of like the S.E. Hinton adaptations that he was doing. So there's films like The Outsiders and Rumblefish. So he was taking big creative swings. He was losing money, and then he had no choice but to take 2 studio jobs, and that was to get himself out of a financial bankruptcy kind of deal. He had to do Godfather 3 for the money, and he had to do Bram Stoker's Dracula for the money. And but to be fair, like Bram Stoker's Dracula, even though it's a paid for hire gig, saved his career because it was nominated for Oscars. It did financially well, whereas Godfather 3 may have been financially well, but it's difficult. I mean, Megalopolis, is it going to get him like put into movie jail? No, because the guy's done Megadoc. He hired a filmmaker called Mike Hodges to do a doc, and everyone's like now looking at the film differently. So he's been able to put out his theatrical cut, his cut of the movie. Who knows if he'll do another re-edit, because he's very much like George Lucas, so he could potentially have another version out. He owns the movie, so why not? But then he's got this documentary which puts everything into context. So sure, he may have lost money, whatever. The problem with Coppola is I don't know if actors will work with him because of obviously the controversy surrounding actors and obviously what happened on the production. Again, these are all allegations and what we've been hearing through the press.
But also, you see videos like with him and Shia LaBeouf, like
duking it out,
yeah,
and
like,
that's what you want.
but at the same time, like some actors aren't gonna then want to work with him because of things like that. And
I mean that as much as people hate Shia LaBeouf, I mean to be fair, like seeing those clips potentially may have gotten Shia LaBeouf out of movie jail because everyone.
I think he's still very firmly in, unfortunately.
But I'm just saying, like, because they can see him working as a professional actor who is questioning his director's intent, and his director doesn't like it. So he's kind of like, no, you should listen to me. We're going to do it this way. And he's like, no, but I need to know kind of what the discussion is. And that's where a lot of the kind of like battles were happening. And that kind of really puts into the headspace of where Francis was with this film. I mean, like for me, a filmmaker who is firmly, I mean, I've got a couple, but Michael Cimino, obviously famously for Heaven's Gate, a great fucking movie, finally restored, and he got to do it before his passing. Thank you, Criterion. It's just, it's weird. You see these directors like him. He did a Thunderbolt and Lightfoot with Jeff Bridges and Clint Eastwood. Starts rising up the ranks, makes The Deer Hunter, Oscar winner. He's made a lot of money, and then is then given the gates to the kingdom. You know, he said, right, here you go make your movie. And with that, and again, a lot of filmmakers are like this, where they're like, I will now put my dream project on screen. And it is great to see a filmmaker, and they were not, I think this is where people really kind of butt heads with creatives at time, where they take stubbornness as fuck you. Whereas he was like, no, I will not compromise on the, you know, kind of the integrity of the picture. It will have every single dollar spent on it. We will take our time with the shoot, and with that costs money. And unfortunately, because of the press at the time, you know, potentially after the backlash of, you know, again, once a film wins a Best Picture Oscar, like, I don't know about you, but it seems to get backlash. Like, obviously, One Battle's now getting quite...
Nora did.
Yeah, it's getting quite the, you know, everyone going, well, did it deserve it? Did it need it? And you then kind of everyone turns on the filmmaker or the film that's coming up from them, and then you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I think also that a lot of that right now is just social media as well, especially in like more modern times. It's people like me and you sit in rooms and talking about films and discussing, I think, trying to pull things out of thin air that don't, do you know what I mean? Just to create problems or issues on certain films.
Yeah, I think the audience and how they're reacting to films can be thingy, but I also think it can be a good thing. And for me, I'm the one that I also kind of wanted to bring up was Olivia Wilde, which is, I'm so glad she got kind of body checked on Don't Worry Darling, because it was, and it's nothing against Olivia in look, it's her life. If she wants to, you know, be with Harry Styles, you know, whatever. My thing is, you made a subpar movie. Like,
I actually liked it.
Get the fuck out.
It has.
I'm sorry, I'm drawing a line here.
No,
get the fuck out, all right?
Because
I will sit there and I'll listen to you about Paul Thomas Anderson and all this shit. But you saying "Don't Worry, Darling's" good. That's it.
I wouldn't say good. It's
backtracking now.
Hold your fucking phone, mate. Just
it's not on me.
Just like, you know, just steady on there. Like I enjoyed it. I think it's entertaining. I like the performances in it. I think Florence and Harry do really well in it. Florence is just great in everything. I think she's just she's a movie star. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like using the term movie that much, but like she is like an actual star.
Yeah, she can be literally given shit. Like, Don't
Yeah.
Worry, Darling. Something vacuous. Bear with me. Like there
Yeah.
is nothing there on the page. There is nothing there anywhere. And she raises that material. Like, I watched it, and as long as, I watched the whole movie because of her and her performance.
Yeah, but I do think there are moments that are directed well, and I do think that like it's entertaining in terms of you don't know what's really happening in this kind of alternative 50s, 60s America, where there's a lot of obviously like mystery around it. And when I don't think it's a film you can come back to too much, because once you know what happens, it's kind of like you know what happens. But I do think it's just an interesting watch, to be honest. And like, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's the best film ever made, obviously, but I do think it's not that bad. There's definitely worse films out there. Don't get me wrong, in terms of like
A follow-up
second
to
film syndrome, as they would sort of say about second album syndrome in music.
like sophomore syndrome, yeah.
100%. Because Booksmart is so good. I think it's a perfect film.
Fucking brilliant, yeah.
Perfect. I think it's absolutely incredible. It is one of the best coming of age stories of especially this century. I know it's only 26 years old, but I think it's up there. Like, I think. I'm not a fan of Stand By Me, but I know that's one of the best. But I would say it's up there with sort of Stand By Me in terms of like.
I mean, even like high school movies like Clueless and Mean Girls.
Superbad.
Yeah.
It's up there as one of the best of all time. Yeah. For sure. And I think that it's interesting to then, because this is what I mean, that there's a different type of, as we've been sort of alluding to as well, there's a different type of movie jail. It's the personal life, isn't it? It's like Olivia Wilde has done something in her personal life, which has caused controversy, which has also then harmed her career. But it also appeared, I don't know if this is obviously truthful or not, this is only sort of like from what I've read, it's that it caused problems on set as well occasionally.
Yeah, scuttlebutt, yeah.
Again, allegedly. Don't come at me, Olivia. But it's one of those things, just but ultimately she is a good filmmaker. I don't think she's the best actor. I think she's a better filmmaker than she is actor.
Yeah.
But that's where then I'm intrigued now to see, because I think she's got 2 films announced, or is it just one?
She's starring in Gregor Raki's new film.
Right, yeah.
With Cooper Hoffman, which I've been following because I love Gregor Raki. Nowhere. No, not Nowhere, sorry. Mysterious Skin and White Bird in a Blizzard. Like, I've tried going back into his like Doom generation kind of period.
But Cooper Hoffman.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a sex film with them two. Olivia Wilde,
but he's firmly on the rise as well, so it's actually doing her a favour.
Yeah,
working with someone who is doing really well right now.
Yeah. Well, like Gregor Raki and obviously Cooper Hoffman, but then you then look at the directorial effort, and she had to fight for that film. That's why I said I think for her it was great to have that kind of body check in a respectful way, where she was now given the keys to the kingdom. Budget was much bigger than Booksmart. You could tell that even though she'd kind of worked on the script, like it wasn't fully fleshed out. It wasn't as realised as it could be. And I think that, going back, being knocked back for 6 just for a moment, like, ignore the public response to the controversy, but as a film and a filmmaker, I think that was the best thing for her, because hearing her at, I think it was Sundance this year. Yeah, Sundance is the one that's in January, isn't it? Yeah. No, it's not.
No, Sundance is in like March.
Yeah, there was one in January. Oh, it's not South by Southwest. I think it is South by Southwest, and they premiered her new film, which then got acquired by A24. That, she's talking about it. She said, I had to fight for it. She said, literally, we had the amount of like finance that was dropping in and out of the film, and then ultimately she had to then like say, fuck it, right, I'm chucking in my own money. I was paying for a production designer. I was doing this. And from all reactions to the film, now the Greg Araki one has had mixed reactions, whatever. I'm still excited because again,
if anything, that's good.
Yeah, because I'm excited.
You don't want a film that's just across the board, all right.
I mean,
you want to.
Yeah, I want to see. I think it's potentially going to be NC-17 in America,
right?
Sex film by one of our queer legend filmmakers. Great, cool, give it to me. But with the Olivia Wilde one, and again, this is what's funny about it, is it's another sex film, but it's kind of a comedy of like a farcical one, and I'm like, okay, she's fought to make this, called in favors like with Seth Rogen and everybody, and you're like, you've got two of the other best actors of their generation, like Ed Norton and Penelope Cruz, who are doing this, and it looks like it's going to be something interesting. And it's like, great, if it can course correct a filmmaker to go back, to maybe be simpler and actually tell a story that they're interested in, great. But at the same time, do we, it kind of also brings up the question of does movie jail even work when you've got someone like John Travolta, who started rose fell, and is potentially now flatlining a career. I mean, you've even got Tom Hooper.
Yeah, I think with someone like Travolta though, he's older now. Where when Pulp Fiction came along and revived his career, it was a very different time. It was a very different role, obviously, and he had a filmmaker in his corner vying for him. But now he's a lot older. He's obviously done a lot of like straight to streaming, straight to DVD kind of films. He did what's that one of the lawyer or whatever is Gotti.
Gotti, yeah. No, that's about the mafiosi. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Sorry, it was sorry, but do you know what I mean? It's like that, but he's a lot older now. It's a very different period of his life where like the kind of like mid to early 90s. That's a period where he could still be doing plenty of work.
Yeah.
So his career is in a very different place. So I don't think. I mean, obviously, I'm speaking on behalf of him, but I don't know John.
Yeah. You don't know John?
No, I don't know. First name basis, with old Mr. Travolta. But like, it's apples and oranges, isn't it? Because, like I say, like, it doesn't matter as much that his career is flatlining, because he could like sell out a stage and for instance, and do like a theater and do some talks and tell stories. He could do that kind of thing.
I mean, what was it like, the Grease tour? Like they recently played it and he came out and did the whole thing, didn't he?
Yeah, and I think he can do that kind of stuff now. And I do as well think that Olivia Newton-John's death has been quite.
Plus his wife, and he's lost his child as well. Yeah,
like he's had a lot of trauma in the last sort of like few years. So I think the guy kind of deserves the kind of peace of his career, I guess, and just to like sort of live his life however he wants. If he gets
paycheck to paycheck,
and if he gets the odd role here and there, sort of thing, then absolutely fine. But I think I don't think that it sort of really matters anymore to him.
But what I kind of wanted to bring up with John, sorry if you don't mind me.
No, of course you can. I was done anyway. Yeah.
Oh, cool. But yeah, no, with John is because we've talked about like with Michael Cimino about cashing your chips in, and what I found really interesting is that he then goes and makes the biggest pile of shit that he could when he finally got to cash all his chips in, which was Battlefield Earth, the Scientology movie. Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, like if you read the reviews, if you read anything about the film, it's panned across. Nobody likes the film, or do they? I don't know. But
I'm sure there's people that do, and fair play to them. Like you enjoy whatever you enjoy. Anyone out there, like whatever you like, even if it's talking about Tom Hooper. If you like Cats, fair enough. Like, well, it's just
I mean,
I'm not gonna be friends with you, but
it's true. It's true. Especially Cats, yeah.
But it just kind of is what it is. Should we talk about Tom Hooper a little bit?
I think we should, because I think
it has been announced very recently that Tom Hooper is returning after the abomination I don't even think that's a strong word,
No,
but
no,
this,
no. I'm just saying that he's
as
coming back.
no, yeah. After Cats, and he's returning with 2 new films. One that has been, I think it's either filming or it's now in post production, called Photograph 51, starring I don't know why I said it like that, starring Natalie Portman. And it is about the discovery of the double helix. So it's of like our DNA essentially.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like a, you know, like Joy, that was released on Netflix with Thomas and Mackenzie, Bill Nye.
Oh yeah.
So it's like a kind of
yeah.
medical, like what's the one with Rosamund Pike? Radioactive.
Yeah, yeah.
It's that kind of like
Mary Curie. It's like real life about medical.
So it's not going to have a massive release, I'd imagine.
No.
It's going to be one of those where it kind of sits on a streamer. It's a nice little release for him to kind of dip his toe back in. But for him to now, it's now been announced that he's doing a film with Millie Bobby Brown, who is producing, called 19 Steps. I think that's with Netflix because her deal's with Netflix. So Photograph 51 must have done quite well, especially in early testing, for him to then get this other film and earn his way back out of movie jail.
I mean, could even be worth mentioning that, because obviously if Millie Bobby Brown's producing, she brought the material to him. Because again, this
is what I mean. Like his stock is slowly rising again, and is obviously someone who is then being approached, and that's what I mean. Like Photograph 51 must have some credit for him to then get an offer of some kind, or to be. If he pitched for it, then fine as well. But like,
I'm going to be really.
I think that it's interesting that he's the choice, because obviously, you know, but you know, Damned United, I'm a big football fan. I think that's a really good film. If you haven't seen it, it's the biopic of Brian Clough. And then he did, was it King's Speech after, or was it Danish Girl?
No, it was King's Speech.
King's Speech, and obviously won the Academy Award. That's obviously a really good film. Danish Girl is a very good film in its own right. I think it's
Danish Girl, then Les Mis, yeah.
Yeah, I think
back-to-back musicals, yeah.
Because I didn't quite connect with Danish Girl. I thought it was okay.
I don't think I think I've watched.
Eddie Redmayne's good in it, obviously. You know, he won Best Actor. But then Les Mis, I thought was an absolute travesty.
Yeah.
Apart from Anne Hathaway, who I thought was really good in it.
And I like Hugh Jackman, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's Jackman, of course, you know.
Yeah, it's the Jack man.
Fucking Wolverine, you know.
Yeah.
How can you not? Yeah, how can you not love him as Jean Valjean? And unfortunately, Russell Crowe attempting to sing was... I'm sorry, Russell. It wasn't for you, mate.
Yeah.
But then, after Les Mis, he did...
Cats.
Did Cats, that's it, yeah. And then...
That feels like the right timeline.
Yeah.
Because I think it would have been... What was it? I think it would have been... Danish Girl would have been about 20... Yeah, so 2013 would have been King's Speech. 2015 would have been Danish Girl. 2017 feels right for Les Mis. And then 2019, because it was right before COVID, would have been Cats. So,
but it seemed like he found his pocket with kind of like mid-level, almost indie feeling
dramas,
films.
Yeah.
And like that works.
I'm gonna say,
why would you then like?
Obviously, it feels like a lot. You know the Doctor Who.
But why would you double down? It's like Les Mis. I don't. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I might just quickly check this, but I don't think it did that well.
What Les Mis?
Yeah, financially, I don't think it did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. Because obviously, it was the height of the musical at that moment.
I'm just.
It's 2012. So he did Les Mis first, then he did
Danish Girl.
Must
have done.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. Because then he went backwards. This is my point. Oh yeah, gross worldwide, budget of 61 million. Obviously, this is estimated on IMDb.
Gross worldwide.
But you know, if you double
million,
the budget for advertising, say 150 mil, just for argument's sake,
definitely, it's
made money. But obviously, it's the back on an IP doesn't count. Still a shit film. What's it say on Letterboxed?
I was gonna say.
What's the rating? What's the average rating on?
While you're doing that, I was gonna say, I'm gonna be cruel here. Do you think Tom Hooper deserves to come back from movie jail? Because I don't. I actually don't miss him at all.
I'm very. I'm Natalie Imbruglia about it. I'm torn.
Oh, don't sing it. You'll get us a ban.
Obviously. Yeah.
We've only just come back from the bans.
But like, I think so. Where is it? Les Mis. 3.6. So it's okay. It's done all right.
Too high.
It is, yeah, but it's done okay on
On
Letterboxd.
The theatre kids always love their musicals, don't they?
Well,
look at Wicked.
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, and all that.
Yeah.
I'd probably say Wicked for good, yeah, because I liked Wicked. So.
But the thing is, though, I think the trouble with Tom Hooper is that he got above his station, I think. And I think
what
that...
a way to word it.
Yeah. He's obviously a talented filmmaker in his own right. He's made some good films. But then when you try and... I mean, again, fair enough. You go outside your comfort zone. You make a big film like Les Mis with a lot of pressure on it. Does financially well. I mean, obviously, both of us, we didn't like it.
Yeah.
But I'm not...
Yeah.
I'm not like
Pressure
an avid sort of theatre goer or anything like that, so I'm not really the target audience for that film.
No.
So I can't really sort of complain sort of too much, and hold my word as gospel over it.
Yeah.
But Danish Girl, again, like it just got gradually worse.
Yeah.
But like he'd done those first two films, Down United and King's Speech, smashed them out the park. But like but then he does something like Cats, again tries to tackle another impossible kind of like musical, really, with like such a massive...
Everyone who's spoken about
fan
Cats
base
has said it's like impossible to do.
Well, there is no story in Cats as well.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
So then to turn it into a film that is faithful to that, but then everyone is CGI, like I
mean, it's pure nightmare fuel. Like like cats with human boobs and it's just James Corden.
Oh God, James Corden. As much as I hate
Taylor Swift, like no offense to Taylor Swift, but I do like Taylor Swift's music, but I'm not a big fan of her acting. To be honest with you,
I was going to say the thing for me was Ray Winston in it. I love Ray.
I've not seen the film. I've only seen clips.
He sings in it, and it's not good.
But the thing for me, just. Again, these are only alleged sort of things that happened on set, is that he was very egotistical. He didn't really know what he wanted. He didn't know what he was doing on set. And I think then I think it feels like someone had developed quite an ego, and that can happen obviously once you've won an Academy Award and you've made some successful films and
you're working with a big budget.
Yeah, but then it kind of feels like, it doesn't matter what I do because it will just be successful.
And then the kind of
that's just not
check of a release date change by a year. Well, what was it? It was supposed to come out, I think, December 2020. I think that's right. Whenever it was supposed to come out, it was supposed to come out Christmas a year later. So you've got a VFX team that then literally had to rush, and I think, what was it? Tom Hooper, I think, was still editing and doing VFX after its release on Christmas Day. I was just hearing things like that, and it's like...
Yeah, even at the premiere, the film wasn't finished.
Yeah. It's, again, that's the kind of reality check we talk about. But then, as much as I like Tom Hooper in, like, Damned United... I'd kind of say Damned United is my favourite of his films. It became very much like the Doctor Who lot. They would kind of go off like Euros Lyn and stuff, and then every once in a while make an actual feature film, and it was never going to be like high quality because they always make great TV, but there was never going to be like it was always going to be like maybe a period piece or a drama. That was never going to be like
smaller budget,
deep and meaningful, but it'd be fun. That's where Tom Hooper lies for me, and I think trying to keep rising up to be a Christopher Nolan, it takes a lot of It was like Chris did it quite quickly, but he earned the respect because he got the receipts. He
earned it, also
as much as me and you we're not always big Chris fans, but. Like, you cannot deny that guy grafted his ass off. And then
he made great films.
Yeah, and in between a successful franchise reboot, and as much as we can argue about the interpretation itself, the receipts are there again. He was then able to make Prestige, Inception, and then afterwards Interstellar.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, and that's the
you
thing.
You can't argue there.
Yeah, he's earned the right to be in the position where he was, but then also when he got into those positions, he made it count, and then he smashed it out the park.
Fought for like control, and but in a way that he's obviously trying to do it to better the movie going experience, but also for himself in terms of being able to just be creative.
But he's become one of those filmmakers where he's earned the right to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
A bit like a Spielberg, a bit like a Clint Eastwood. Obviously, when he was doing, because he's kind of stopped directing now, isn't he?
Who?
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
He's like 97, 98 years old
during
now.
Number 2 was his last, or during Number 4 was the last one that it was during Number 2. Sorry, yeah. It was the last film he did.
But it's like, he had that sort of deal with Warner's at one point where they just gave him like,
40,
you want
40 million?
Yeah. You want $40-50 million to go make a film? No worries, Clint. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And it's like, because he'd earned the right. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Where Tom Hooper hadn't, and that's where again, like I think an ego play comes into it quite a lot, in my opinion.
Yeah. And talking of ego, do you have anybody that you would love to be able to put into movie jail? Because I have a couple.
That's a good question. Why don't you start with you first, and then I'll have a little think.
Okay, cool. Because I've got 3 names, and these are absolute notorious bastards. So I'm going to start with the lesser known person, which is called Brett Bentman, and I don't know if this is an even real person. So this is somebody who makes Tubi movies that they put on Tubi. Sorry, and they are the so like the Pooniverse, like those copyright free things. He's done one on Aladdin, and it is genuinely one of the worst things I have ever seen. Is his Aladdin, and there is an Aladdin's Revenge. I have to see this. But he's also synonymous because he uses AI as well in his movies, like really blatantly and badly. He did Betty's Revenge, about the Betty Boop horror movie, and just absolute garbage, and they need to be tossed in a bin and the ashes sown with salt.
And that's if it's, like you say, it could be a pseudonym or something. Yeah. But yeah, that sounds like a good one.
Yeah, it genuinely, for me, he is someone who is despicable, and you can find probably most of his stuff on there. Does actually have a what was it? A Letterboxed page. You can find most of them on there. This one will probably, now we're getting into the heavy hitters, but I would love to be able to take away everything from Baz Luhrmann. I want to see him. The way you said bankrupt, that.
No, it sounded like you wanted to make him fucking suffer.
I wanted
that is honestly, that was your reaction then when you said that. That was it's so funny.
Yeah. No, I want this.
So you want to bring pain on his life? That's how it seems.
Yeah, I want to take away Bazmark. You know what I mean? I want to take away the House of Iona, his production company / house, because let's be real, Baz Luhrmann, mate. You made a good trilogy. I love the Red Curtain trilogy, but you are a one-note, one-trick pony. And ever since Australia / Faraway Downs, when they turned it into a miniseries, you are on something that I don't know. I don't know what it is, but please stop, because I am fucking sick and tired of sitting there and watching your movies. Like you have Australia where it's a 5-genre movie in 2.5 hours. And don't get me wrong, I've seen the extended Faraway Downs, miniseries. It's better, slightly,
marginally.
There is just too much going on, and even though you've extended it, it's still way too much going on. Then on top of that, you then insult us with Great Gatsby. Great soundtrack.
Oh, I do like Great Gatsby. I must be honest.
I rewatched it recently for the first time in a good couple of years, and everyone except Leo is like you've got Joel Edgerton at 11. You've got,
but that's his style.
I know it's Baz's style.
Like Moulin Rouge is everyone's at an 11.
Everyone's kind of at an 11. Then you've got kind of Tobey Maguire who's at a 6. And then you've got Kerry Mulligan and Leo, who are at a 1. They're kind of comatose through the movie, especially Kerry Mulligan, And
yeah, I'd say that, but Leo's probably more of a 4 or 5.
Okay.
He's a little bit more.
I just genuinely I don't understand it, and it takes away from the drama and the suspense and what is going on. Like, I'm more worried about how he presents the story than the actual story itself. And don't even fucking get me started on Elvis. Actually, wait a minute, I'm going to get into it anyway.
No, I'm whatever you're going to say about Elvis, I'm probably going to agree.
Yeah,
So.
no. I genuinely do not understand why you call a film Elvis, and Elvis is barely a fucking character in the movie.
He's not even the main character.
No, and this is the thing. If he called it Tom Parker or Parker or anything like that, or Graceland, I would have been involved in it. But because you've called it Elvis, you hire Austin Butler, who is fan-fucking-tastic as Elvis.
He is the best Elvis.
Yeah,
he is unbelievable. He portrays it. No, I know where you're going to go now.
Jack White is the best Elvis. Jack White. I know Kung Fu Man. Oh yeah.
There's two type of people in this world, man.
There's the Elvis and the King, and there's the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Like yeah. I do need to see that film. To be fair,
yeah, no. But I'm glad I got to show you that. Yeah, but
you showed me that scene. I just need to see. I need to see the film. But like, I what's the film called?
Oh, it's the Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. Yeah,
there you go. I was going to say, just for people who are listening and watching, just so you know what me and Richard are talking about, which is a spoof about musical biopics, isn't it?
Yeah.
But like, I completely agree with you with your sort of analysis of Elvis, and for me, it's like it's someone else's kind of like opinion, because it's all voiceovered by Tom Parker, and I think the makeup on Tom Hanks is diabolical. It's just him in a really bad fat suit, and you could almost sort of see like the fat of like the makeup on his face, just like kind of peeling off. It's really not that good. But Austin Butler is absolutely unbelievable as Elvis Presley, and I'm going to say this on the podcast. Richard knows what I'm probably going to say, but if as a filmmaker myself and someone who loves music, and we grew up in a household listening to this kind of music as well, like Elvis is one of my absolute sort of icons, I think in just pop culture, and it's one of my dreams is to do a proper biopic of Elvis, because I remember watching it at the cinema, and I like Baz Luhrmann's one, and I was like, I could do a better job than that. I actually could. And because I love and respect Elvis Presley, I respect his presence, his stature in pop culture, and I will say there are moments which I think Baz does really well to kind of capture that energy, and especially the effect that he has on people as well. A bit like as we were kind of talking about Michael Jackson, like he has that kind of innate. There's just something about him which he really just like encapsulates people.
The first time Tom Parker sees him, and it's all little glimpses, and you hear the women fainting and stuff. Like that's Baz Luhrmann at his best.
Yeah.
But again, the problem is he's dealing with Parker. He's kind of dealing with Elvis. He's kind of dealing with the origins of the music, and again, I know you should be having those discussions, but he's dealing with 5 or 6 big chunks that if he'd whittled it down to 2
or 3,
with his visual flair, it would have worked. But again, he's crammed too much in, and the perspective of the story has just gone.
Completely agree.
It's at an angle where it just comes across as just disinteresting. Do you know what I mean? And you're not engaged because you're there to watch the film with maybe like to watch it with Elvis and stuff. And I mean, I've watched it twice, and the film never really gets off the ground for me. You kind of get swept up into some of the visual style and the soundtrack, which obviously he's great at, but again, you're watching him just kind of rehash a lot of the visual flair that he's already done in Moulin Rouge and Romeo and Juliet, and it's fucking better. Like get this guy away from the camera.
Yeah, like there are a couple of films though that personally I'm a fan of, like Strictly Ballroom, Romeo and Juliet. I love those adaptations.
I know you kind of struggle with Moulin. That's your drop off into
Yeah,
it, so,
I can't stand Moulin Rouge because as I don't like it when he goes that real high energy, where it's almost like really cartoonish. Like, but that's what I like about Gatsby for me and Romeo and Juliet is that there are moments where they are 100% at a 10
You're just
or 11.
a Leo slag, aren't you?
I am. I'm such a tart for Leo.
Yeah.
Such a Leo slut. Honestly, I'm too old for him though. That's the problem as well. Sorry.
That's all right.
That might get edited out. No, it won't. It won't.
That's all right. I was going to say, I'll bring up my last one. Cause...
But no, I was just going to quickly say, like, he's made a couple, in my opinion anyway, a couple of good films, but he's very hit and miss. Like, Australia's not very good as well, which I do agree with you. And Elvis misses the mark quite badly.
Yeah.
So go on, Richard. What is your last choice?
Sofia Coppola.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Could
not
Sofia
agree more.
Coppola.
Yeah. Every film of hers I've watched is not been good.
I have watched Virgin Suicides. I've watched the Lost in Translation. I've watched Marie Antoinette. I've tried that 3 times at this point. I think I may have only clocked it once on Letterboxd, but I have seen it a couple of times. I've seen Priscilla, and literally, do you know what? The best film of hers I've ever seen is a short film she made right before the Virgin Suicides, and it is fucking incredible, like absolutely breathtaking. Then she decided to make a film, and I would rather sit and watch someone who is fat and hefty apply wallpaper in the middle of summer. That's not a fun sight, but it is more interesting than watching.
That is oddly specific.
That is oddly specific, but I would rather do that than genuinely watch that. Any more of her films. I have drawn the line in the sand. I've seen The Bling Ring. It's not good. I've seen.
It's okay.
Priscilla,
but
again,
it's forgettable.
Yeah.
Oh, Priscilla is fucking diabolical.
It is. It's basically a teenager's Pinterest board of Elvis, and just beige. You know
I'm sorry. My God, you have fucking hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, it is, and it is. It's like a Pinterest board because you've got the soundtrack songs, you've got it's
like Tumblr back in the day.
Yeah. And it just irritates me that, and out of her feature films, the only one I can stand is Lost in Translation. Would I watch it all the time? No, but I can stand it. But that's her most popular movie. Everything else can just be chucked into a bin, set fire to it, and nobody would really miss it. I don't know who would. And I'm glad to see like people are appreciating Marie Antoinette now and finding these films, but to me it is the sign of just an awful filmmaker when everything you make is literally like DOA. It's dead on arrival. Like there is no pulse, there is no enthusiasm, there is nothing there. Whereas like unfortunately Baz has got too much pulse. And he's too all over the place with everything, and then you've got the polar opposite with Sophia. I mean, to me, that's like, I don't want to see another film by her. But
I've got 2, as you've been sort of talking about.
Good.
I've got 2 filmmakers that I would love to see in film jail.
Yeah.
So the first one is Ari Aster.
Oh.
Let
me just. Good lad.
So the only one of his films that I even consider watchable is Midsommar, and I actually think that's an excellent film. I think it's just absolutely superbly made. Hereditary is hilarious. I don't even think it's not.
It's one of the worst films ever made.
Yeah. Hereditary is. I don't understand the hype at all.
Apart from technical and visual design.
Yeah. Toni Collette is good in it as well. I don't think she's that good in it, and I'm a big fan of Toni Collette.
Yeah.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm a massive fan of Toni Collette, but the film has limitations, and also like because there's also a massively bad script, but like there is a thin line between horror and comedy, and I think it dances into comedy quite a lot, where like I found it way more funny than horror, because we watched it and I was just laughing my way through it, because I was just like, this is, I can't actually believe this is deemed a horror.
I'm glad you found it funny, mate. I was
Oh no, I was bored. No, I was bored. Yeah, completely. But when the moments happened, I just found them hilarious.
Yeah,
because the tone is, for me, completely off.
I can't believe we're doing this, but I've got to drop my take, which is, I'm sorry, but I have to drop this take in that I genuinely believe if anybody was to do it again, you do not kill the best and most interesting character in the first fucking 30 minutes of your movie.
Was that the girl?
Yeah, the sister.
No, I wanted her to die.
No, because she's the most interesting with the clicks and everything. Like there was things.
I found it irritating.
Okay, but like for me, nobody else in that movie, right? Gabriel Byrne is basically, again, he's dead. He's DOA. There's nothing there to the performance, and it's nothing against him. It's obviously what the script demands.
Yeah.
You've got Tony Collette at 100, and he's just irritating as fuck. I mean, how should someone win an Oscar for actually crying on screen? I don't understand. Whatever, but then you've got the central conceit is this young character, and they're the most interesting person, and then they're gone, and then you're left with a family of utter fucking cardboard boxes, right? Soggy boxes, and you're then left in what is a shit family drama right in the middle of the film, and then it becomes a cult movie at the end.
It's like soap opera stuff.
And I was just sitting there going, it doesn't flow in cohesion. There is nothing about it that warrants any interest. I mean, the only thing I can grant the film, and this is going to sound weird, but I am pro this, is that it is the old people were naked at the end of the movie. Great. We should be doing that more. You know, equal opportunity nudity and getting the old people naked.
More naked old people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Because, you know, again, he's touching on taboos. You know, or he's touching something. But no, sorry. No, but it was like he's touching on real taboos, and that's the stuff that I find really scary. And unfortunately, that's where I find films like Midsommar. I liked it the first time I watched it. I've never had the desire to go back to it, and unfortunately for me, it's a film that I don't ever want to see again. Because the film opens brilliantly with, again, a really shocking taboo moment. But then the film is just too long in wallowing in on itself. And then it kind of... And then it's like, what was it? Beau is Afraid has its own fucking problems where the film actually starts 40 minutes plus into the movie. Fuck off. And then me and you have talked off mic, obviously, about Eddington, but
yeah, which is terrible.
It's an okay film. Or
no, I think it's terrible. I couldn't finish it.
Eddington is an editor. It needs an editor. Yeah. That's the one thing we can say about Ari Aster is he needs an editor.
Yeah.
Like 2.5, 3 hour movies where they could easily have been trimmed down.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely fine. Like it's fine, you know, for you to obviously have your take and stuff. But just Eddington is just. I was watching it on a plane back from Vietnam, and I don't think I've ever been more bored watching a film in my life. It has zero going for it, and it's just not interesting at all. But so, do you want to hear my last filmmaker for movie Jail?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to take over.
No, you're absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. So this one could be a bit controversial. Greta Gerwig. I think she deserves to be in film jail. Yeah. And I'll tell you for why.
Go for it.
She made an incredible opening film, Lady Bird. Personally, I really enjoyed it. I think it's a really good coming of age film.
I'm trying to stay quiet, so
no, that's fine.
I'm doing it for the visual guys.
Thank you, yeah, and the listeners as well.
They can't see me.
No, I know.
The visual people.
We
love you.
We love all of you.
We love you.
Okay, we love all of you, yes. And we genuinely do. And so, Lady Bird, I think it's superb. I think it's a really good. I think I would go as far as to say it's an extraordinary take on a kind of coming of age, especially for a young woman. It's such a different take, I think, especially more modern take for a young woman. Quirky as well, like quirky woman, and obviously who's by herself. She's more, it's not like Booksmart, for instance, where it's more of a double act. It's just because we've referenced Booksmart already in this podcast. I just think that Lady Bird deserves all the credit it deserves. It's a fantastic film. Then Little Women,
Little Timmy.
Yeah, I think I don't think there's, again, obviously I know it's an adaptation. There is not enough in the script to differentiate the sisters from each other.
Yeah.
And they all just kind of blend into one. And I know this is an adaptation and everything, and it's the book is non-linear, so the film is non-linear. But I just wish that the edit tidied up the story a bit more, because there are bits when they sort of flash between the different storylines, and it's like, I can't even remember what the character's called, but Chalamet, his character is with, I think it's Florence Pugh as one of the sisters, and then all of a sudden he's trying to flirt with Saoirse, and then it's like, we've skipped timelines now, and it's not overly clear, like, who you're meant to be following and when, so you have to take time to adjust, which then takes me out of the experience of the film, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I just don't care.
Yeah.
I think Laura Dern's really good as the mother.
Feels like incomplete filmmaking, yeah.
It is, yeah, and I just think it's just, I was going to say lazy, but I think that's maybe a bit harsh. But I just don't think that there is enough. I think like you can be too loyal to the source material as well.
It wasn't kind of spoken clearly enough to the audience. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, like when you watch like say I don't know, like The Hateful Eight, for instance, it feels like you're watching a piece of theatre.
Yeah.
The film felt like I was reading a book.
Right.
It didn't have that cinematic quality to it where I felt I was actually watching it felt like I was reading a book.
Yeah.
So it dragged, the pace was off, and I just don't think it kind of knew what it was. It was kind of like too faithful to the material, and like with Lord of the Rings, like they reshaped things to fit, like things that happened actually in the Two Towers book happens in Return of the King, like Shelob, for instance. And it's like they reshaped it for the film for it to make sense in cinematic sense. It was
an adaptation, yeah.
It was an adaptation where you have to potentially change things to make the film work. And it just felt like it was a bit too loyal. Yeah. And don't get me started on Barbie. I think that's an absolute catastrophe of a film. It tried really hard to tell this incredible message. Again, I'm absolutely behind the message of female equality and everything that it stands for, but I just think it's just executed super badly. And like the construction of like the ending is really bad, of just like how then things just go back to normal in the way they were. There's no growth from the end of the film, which is again what so it's just gone from like,
well, it's a cosmetic change, isn't it, really?
It is, and it's just empty. And it's like, it's such,
I'm going to drop the big one.
Well, just hold on, I'm not quite finished.
Sorry.
But that's just what, and I just feel like they had such an amazing opportunity to make a really impactful film for young girls, to sell an amazing message of equality, empowerment, but it just doesn't do it. It falls short because again, like, how do the Barbies win over the Kens? They don't use their intelligence; they use their sexuality, and it's like, you've completely missed like the mark here. It's like, that's how you should actually win over the men. And it's like, well, no, that's because you're now feeding into the stereotypes of now. It's like, well, how women should get into rooms is using their sexuality. And it's like, no, because a lot of the film is saying use your mind, use your thoughts and opinions, and then you don't do it. And it's like, what are you doing? And I just think that she's just a filmmaker, and again, like I can't remember what she's preparing another film, but it's another big Hollywood film.
Chronicles of Narnia.
There we go, yeah. And it's just she's now become part of the Hollywood machine. Yeah. She's not actually a filmmaker who has something to say anymore, like she did with Lady Bird. She's just gonna churn out a like Hollywood slop because that's what she's told to do. She'll add in some messages that are utterly meaningless and that aren't really going to be thought through or even developed that well, half-baked ideas. And unfortunately, that's where Greta is now, and I think that's where her career is just going to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I didn't like Greta as an actor.
No, me neither.
I've always found her a strange presence in movies, but then the transition to... I mean, I hated Lady Bird. I didn't mind Little Women. I liked Barbie the first time I saw it, but then I revisited it, and it just didn't hold up at all. And it was such a strange kind of second viewing experience. But I'm going to drop the big one on everyone, which is the most memorable characters in a film about Barbie are the Kens. Like, that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Ken has the best song.
Yeah. Has the best moments. The best lines.
Yeah. Are all Kens. And it's not just Ryan Gosling's Ken, the entire Kens. And you're just like, oh, okay, this is so strange. And yeah, I don't know. I think we leave it there, mate.
Yeah, I have one question, and let's be short with this.
Yeah.
Is there a filmmaker who has made a comeback, or you would like to see make a comeback from movie jail? Because I'll give you one for me.
Go.
My favorite is Ben Affleck.
Really?
Yeah. Because it's more the story. Because his career had died with films like Gigli and what was it, like Chasing Amy, and it really
Daredevil,
Armageddon,
Pearl Harbor.
It had really killed his career.
His noughties run was really killing.
But then he came back as a director.
Yeah.
And then to win an Academy Award for Argo, like personal life aside, all this kind of stuff, but talking as like a creative, getting out of movie jail, and becoming essentially one of the biggest actors and directors at the time, kind of late 2010s. Becoming Batman, doing Argo, The Town, Gone Baby Gone, and what else did he do? He's done
They Live by Night, or Live by Night, which is a period gangster film,
And it's like,
and then he's on to Air.
That's it. I was trying to think of an Air more recently, which I loved. I thought it was really good.
I think since Air, he's come back. He's back on the rise.
But that's just where I just think that. And again, for someone who started his career like Good Will Hunting, won an Oscar very early on, to then fall off and then come back, I think fair play to the guy.
Yeah, I mean, I've wanted to see this guy just do nothing but succeed, and unfortunately, obviously, Batman vs Superman kind of killed his career. / Justice League again, and it's a shame. But I like you. I'm so happy he's teamed with Matt. He now. Listening to him in interviews talk about the business, genuinely the most fascinating guy, and I'm so glad people are starting to understand that this guy is not a slouch. He's not a lazy bastard. He is someone who does put in the work and is willing to do that, and I'm so glad him and Matt have reteamed and they've got back on track. And it's also for Matt, because I feel like Matt's been kind of lost a little bit lately. Not in a bad way, but he's still trying to find these projects, and I'm glad working with Chris has been great for him. And you can kind of feel like he's now getting into that kind of final stage of his career where he's obviously going to start slowing down, because he's getting into his 50s now. And they can't always do blow shit up kind of movies. So.
Like Post-Born now, isn't it? And
So for me, God dear. I might have to nick one of yours, but I do think
I did have a list, yeah.
Well, because I didn't, but I mean the one that I would really like to see, I think that has the most kind of emotional impact is Robert Rodriguez. I recently rewatched the El Mariachi trilogy, the Mexico trilogy. And talking about him in one of our previous episodes, the guy needs a break, and I think he's been lost because he doesn't have a home anymore. He had Miramax / Dimension, where he had the money, he could go off for 20, 30, 40 million and make an esoteric kind of strange movie that had personality, that had style,
Mm.
but it wasn't bound to the limitations of this needs to make fucking money. You know, I've watched Hypnotic, and trust me, that unfortunately wasn't Hypnotic. You can see him struggling, and then even with the Book of Boba Fett, I think, you know, directorial wise, it's fine, but the scripts weren't there. There's a lot going on with what he's doing, and rewatching even something like Once Upon a Time in Mexico, when I watched it, I was like, oh, what's this film? It's shit. Now watching it, I go, fuck me, the amount of personality and just weird shit in it. Does it make sense? It depends on your kind of state of mind, really. You know what I mean?
I like it.
Yeah. Oh no. It's definitely a film that has grown on me. Now I kind of realise just like letting go of it. There is one thing I will never forgive it, and it really holds it back. I will never forgive it for. But other than that, you know, I think we need him to stop making shitty Spy Kid sequels for Netflix
Agreed.
and kids movies.
Mm.
Like We Could Be Heroes. We don't need you to be a hero, Robert. We need you to come back and make absolute fucking class films like Machete, you know, Machete Kills and all that. We need your grindhouse action Spirit Planet Terror. It's a big one in with us. We mad respect for Planet Terror, and I would love him to just have a home where he can just make adult action movies at a decent budget that allows him, and make him in Texas, obviously, and just have fun again. That's what I think he needs. So
agreed.
That's me.
Recommendations.
Oh yeah, you start, don't you? You always.
Oh, do you
start.
mean to? Oh yeah, I'll start. Yeah.
The
I do. Yeah.
recommends. I'm not, I
do,
feel
yeah.
odd now if I'd start.
Okay, so for anyone
have to
new,
retire.
anyone new to the podcast, every single week we do a recommendation. It could be a short film, feature film. It could be anything. Anything we feel that we want to share with our audience. And this week I am sharing a YouTube video, which will be linked in the description of this video. And it's on Kodak's YouTube channel, and it is Ryan Coogler doing like an 11-12 minute basically kind of film school lesson on aspect ratios and how they worked out the aspect ratio changes with
Sinners.
on Sinners for the different types of film that they used while filming it, because they shot partly on IMAX, and then they shot some of the other stuff on like VistaVision, which then changes aspect ratios. Just go watch the video. It's absolutely unbelievable. It's a brilliant kind of film school on aspect ratios and just film in general. Richard, what is you recommending this week?
I am going to be recommending one from the vaults.
Okay.
This is one of my favourite films, hands down. To the point I own it multiple times. I own multiple cuts. I will be finding the soundtrack at some point because I love this movie. So we have obviously been talking about Movie Jail, and one director who was infamously known for on-set behaviour and kind of found himself in a movie jail of sorts, and probably a literal jail at some points, is Sam Peckinpah with Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. This is a kind of real deconstruction, and it was weird that I picked obviously a western for the last episode and obviously a western for this one, but it's something that I kind of really wanted to talk about, which is like such a great deconstruction of the myth of Billy the Kid. We've seen so many films that put him on the pedestal. This knocks him off, and especially Pat Garrett as well, and really just is able to understand these two characters in a way that is absolutely spectacular. If you're region free or you have a 4K Blu-ray player, try and get yourself the Criterion from America. Honestly, it is fantastic. It has been restored yet again for the 50th anniversary. They tweaked one of the cuts from an anniversary cut from the previous DVD release that you can get available here. If you want to watch that release, hey, there's a DVD here. It's amazing. just a genuinely brilliant film with a Bob Dylan soundtrack, and is the last real kind of showcase of what a director like Sam Peckinpah could do.
Amazing. Right then, where can people find you on socials?
Thank you very much, Sam. They can find me at Rich. I am the video store clerk, and I am available on.
You're available.
I'm available to. I'm available to
What
rent.
a way to say that.
I'm available to rent on Letterboxed, Instagram, TikTok, and Serialized. And where can people find you, Sam?
Thank you very much. So you can find me at Sam_D_Hogarth, and that is on Letterboxd, Instagram, and TikTok. And also you can find my production company, Rogue Studios, obviously on YouTube, which is where you lovely people who are watching, you can watch us. If you're listening, go over and subscribe on Rogue Studios YouTube channel. But also you can follow us on our Instagram and TikTok accounts. So that is going to do it for this week.
Yes.
I think. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Anything else to say?
No.
Okay, cool.
I need to get out of here, man.
I think we need
to catch a bus.
Yeah, need a bit of a breather. I think but that was a good one. I felt that was a really good episode this week, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Obviously, thank you for listening and watching as always. We genuinely do really appreciate it. We are obviously a new podcast here, and we appreciate any likes, comments, any feedback. We just want to get better.
If you share us,
it's all really appreciated.
Share
and
us with your mum.
your bus driver, your cat, whatever.
Exactly.
Just actually not your cat. I'm not. Share it with you. Share it with your dog. Share it with your dogs. Dog's better. Thank you so much. As always, we really appreciate it, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.